Welcome to another edition of This Week in Poker, your source for the latest happenings in poker news. I'm Christy Arnett here with Brittany Giacoletto filling in for Lizzie Harrison. First up on the list today is the continuing Legends of Poker Tournament Series. It began last week with preliminary events that lead up to the $10,000 World Poker Tour main event.
That's right, the championship for the Legends of Poker begins August 23rd. As one of the very few stops on the World Poker Tour schedule that has been there since the very beginning, the event is always heavily attended. For those who aren't quite ready for the $10,000 buy-in tournament, there's plenty of preliminary action left to compete in where buy-ins range from $300 to $1,000. A full schedule can be found right here on cardplayer.com under the Tournaments tab.
With the World Series of Poker on the back burner until November, attention can now be shifted toward the upcoming World Series of Poker Europe. It was announced this week that all 4 bracelet events will take place under one roof at Casino at the Empire, London Club International's latest edition. The series is taking place from September 19th through October 2nd. WSOPE action will kick off with a new €1,500 buy-in no-limit hold'em event and end with a €10,000 buy-in main event. Adding to the excitement of the second annual WSOPE, the series is scheduled for broadcast in the U.S. on ESPN, marking the first time a European poker tournament has received television coverage in America.
Though the WSOP main event may have slipped into the back of our minds, the November 9 probably can't think about much else. That's why a few of them, including Ivan Demidov, Peter Eastgate, and David Ream, have already confirmed their participation in the World Series of Poker Europe. They will try to do the improbable and take down 2 main events in 1 year. That would be a feat.
With the success of the WSOPE as well as other tournament series across the seas, including the Asian Pacific Poker Tour and the European Poker Tour, online giant PokerStars began the Latin American Poker Tour this year. The last leg of its first tour began yesterday in Uruguay. The $2,500 buy-in is taking place at the Mantra Resort Spa Casino.
There was 351 entrants, which generated a prize pool upwards of $850,000. Only 32 players will make the money, and first place is set to receive nearly $242,000. A number of U.S.-based pros made the trek across the ocean to play, including Barry Greenstein, Vanessa Russo, and Humberto Brenes. Humberto's brother, Alex Brenes, found himself on top of the chip counts after day 1, with 2004 WSOP champ Greg Raymer not far behind. Check back on cardplayer.com's tournament results page for the winner.
In online poker news, the 9th installment of the Full Tilt Online Poker Series began this week. The 25-event series will award more than $15 million in combined prize pools. Full Tilt pros are hosting each event. The first event was a $200 buy-in no-limit hold'em tournament with a guaranteed prize pool of $1 million. 5,779 players entered, which pushed the purse well over the guarantee. Garfield 25 snagged nearly $200,000 for first place.
With only 3 events in the books, over 8,200 players have competed in the series so far, with more than $1.6 million awarded. There are still a number of preliminary events left to compete in before the $500 buy-in no-limit hold'em main event starts on August 17th. Chris Jesus Ferguson is hosting that event, and there is a guaranteed prize pool of $2.5 million.
Nothing is better in poker tournaments than guaranteed money, and Bodog Poker knows that. This Sunday, its regular $100,000 guaranteed tournament is being replaced with a $250,000 guarantee. The tourney begins at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and features a buy-in of $250. Cardplayer.com viewers and fans are eligible for special qualifier tournaments that include additional free seats into the prize pool. Check in the poker news section on cardplayer.com for the details.
In legal news, a new deadline has been established by the World Trade Organization for Antigua and Barbuda in their dispute with the United States to reach a conclusion in the 5-year-long disagreement centered on online gambling. The WTO panels agree that the U.S. is guilty for breaking trade agreements signed by WTO members, and that Antigua and Barbuda are entitled to compensation for their losses incurred from the implementation of the UIGEA. After several deadlines have already come and gone, the new date is October 1st.
The island nation claims to be owed $3.4 billion in losses. However, the WTO ruled that the U.S. should owe Antigua and Barbuda $21 million annually. How the U.S. will pay the $21 million is being worked out. Reports from Antigua and Barbuda's attorneys say that the dollars will probably be collected by allowing the islands to reproduce copyrighted material that originated in the U.S. After exhausting its appeals, the U.S. Trade Office representatives revised the portions of the General Agreement on Trade in Services so that it falls in line with current U.S. policy concerning online gaming, which, in turn, opened up the U.S. to WTO lawsuits from member countries who could prove the revision will cause them to lose money.
The U.S. has already settled with several WTO members, including Japan and Canada, who take advantage of the WTO rule that allows this, costing the U.S. an unknown amount of dollars through sanctions. The European Union is also seeking compensation and notified the U.S. of this in late June. Requested by the EU, a meeting to discuss the matter was scheduled to take place last week, but was postponed by the U.S. A new meeting has yet to be scheduled.
Thanks for tuning in to This Week in Poker. Enjoy your weekend, and if you're looking for something to do, Spade Club is now running qualifiers for the $25,000 World Poker Tour Championship.
This promotion is for exclusive members only, so sign up for $19.99 a month for a chance to win millions. I'm Brittany Giacoletto.
And I'm Christy Arnett for Card Player TV.